Grim Dawn is an isometric action RPG in the spirit of games like Diablo. The premise is as it usually is in games like this. Explore a world with scaled locations and enemies, kill as many things as possible, loot as much stuff as possible, complete the game, and start New Game Plus to continue trying to max out your character because games like this don't let you do that in one playthrough for some reason. What makes Grim Dawn so special is that it has the most in-depth character customization system I have ever seen in an action RPG in my entire life. You get stat points which allow you to boost your stats, you can customize your gear, upgrade your gear with special materials and have 2 different weapon loadouts, you get to pick from several classes and use hundreds of skill points to upgrade active and passive abilities between them in any design that you'd like. After that, you get to pick devotions, which are basically these branching talent paths that unlock passive bonuses and chance activation skills to help make you stronger. Combine that with a very simplistic and easy to learn and master combat system revolving around occasional abilities and clicking to essentially hack and slash, and you have a very fun concept here, especially since you can play cooperatively with friends, and everything tends to be better with friends. And this is a small note, but something that's bad about the customization is that the only thing you cannot respec or change are your stat points. So if you make a bad choice or click the wrong button, seeing as the buttons to upgrade your stats are all like in less than an inch away from each other, you're kind of stuck with your decision. The story of Grim Dawn is more engaging than I expected from an ARPG. It starts out with your character almost dying by hanging due to possession by the Ether, which is essentially an interdimensional spiritual energy with a form of sentience. You were saved because the energy left your body to escape death, since apparently it cannot survive inside you if you die. The game then immediately contradicts itself by making you fight several Ether-possessed corpses and sends you on a journey to defeat the invasion of Ether while building up safe zones by choosing to help persons that can prove useful that you meet in the wilderness or not. One especially cool thing though is that the game allows you to make choices. But these choices only really have cosmetic effects and there's no real effect on gameplay. For example, you could choose to save and arm some persons you meet in the wilderness to help you fight the Ether. But then you never see them again, the enemies do not decrease or get weaker, and literally the effect of your choice amounts to zilch, like you don't see anything. The gameplay has its own problems too. For one, nothing gets marked on the map and you're not allowed to place your own markers either. Combine that with how level 15 areas can have level 25 dungeons in them, you're likely going to miss a lot of content unless you keep physical notes telling you where everything is. Most quests don't get marked on your minimap either, so to complete them you really just have to run around and explore every nook and cranny until you find what you're looking for. This is a very digressive design choice and it makes you feel like you're playing a game from the early 2000s, back when quest tracking wasn't really considered as important. The game allows you to craft bridges and blow things up in order to access more content as well, but none of that really gets marked either, so unless you have a really good memory or draw your own map or just always have enough materials at all times, you're going to forget where most of these things are and never actually get a chance to access that content. Another problem is that the enemies don't feel different, no matter what they are, how they look, or what attacks they have. The gameplay feels like you're fighting the same exact easy to kill enemies over and over, with the exception of the occasional legendary and boss units that have some debuffs and buffs that they can cast that regular enemies don't. This makes the game feel very repetitive and more like a chore. You'll probably zone out while running around killing these things because no matter what you run into in this game, there's nothing that can really kill you or even come close unless you run into an area that's at least 5 levels above you. And even then, only really the area's boss stands a chance at killing you. The graphics and sound effects are about what you would expect from an action RPG. They're nothing to brag about, but they're decent. My only complaint about them is that the game has some strange fog that makes it hard to see things at the edge of your vision. It's the same kind of fog that pops up in other games when the quality takes a dip due to an incapability to render that far due to either your graphical settings or the engine. But considering Grim Dawn is isometric, the fact that this fog is here and is so present makes no sense. Is this game really incapable of delivering a clear, crisp isometric image? Because it appears to be that way, even on max settings. Overall, Grim Dawn is a very fun concept and something that I wish was more fun in effect than it is. There's just so many bad design choices here that made me have to struggle to even keep playing the game. It just wasn't fun after the first few hours. Grim Dawn is a repetitive, boring, and poorly designed chore. There's no challenge, no organization, and really just no engaging entertainment to be found here anywhere outside of character customization. I give it a 3 out of 10. It's very badly designed and its production value was very low. Don't waste your money on it. If you found this review helpful and you want to see more just like it, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next Res Reviews.